Welcome to episode 4. I thought I'd record this one in the garden, out in the garden. It's a lovely day today, and I'm not going to let this opportunity go by. I hope you'll enjoy this session that happens in the garden. Episode 4 rather, we're looking at getting comfortable in conversation. And to get comfortable in a conversation, we divide this into 4 levels. So we're going to look at the 4 levels being level 1, small talk, level 2, fact disclosure, level 3, viewpoints, and finally level 4, personal feelings. Being comfortable speaking with others in small social settings can have a big impact on both your personal and your professional life. We are all drawn to the person who looks at ease and confident than we are to the person who looks uptight and awkward. Generally, individuals who can carry a conversation have stronger relationships. They tend to be more confident when it comes to speaking in public. Consider being at work or in a business setup or in any semi-formal setup. Your first encounter with another person often begins with a handshake, a smile, while looking directly at them. And looking directly at them does not mean you stare at them without a blink, but rather you look at their face, and on their face you're looking at the eyes, nose, mouth. You know, that central triangle. But now once the handshake is done, what next? Have you ever considered what can you do to give yourself an advantage when striking up a conversation? Let's spend a bit of time talking about the different levels on which we communicate. Get comfortable in a conversation. Level 1, small talk. Small talk means a very superficial conversation. It could be about the weather, traffic, current, etc. It is really that, small talk. While this may seem purposeless, it really isn't, eh? This is our chance to size up another person and decide whether you have something in common or not. And in most cases, there is something in common. The trick or the effectiveness or the impact or the success of small talk is navigating or gravitating to the areas of commonality. You don't know the other person. You aren't expected to reveal anything personal about yourself, like really who you woke up next to this morning, if it was not your wife type of thing. It is really small talk. We are aware of a young teenager who had a hard time in making conversations with other people her own age, especially boys. So she decided that since lots of the boys knew she was interested in sports, it would be a good idea to learn something about the sports they enjoyed and to be able to talk about them. Not only did she manage to attract lots of new friends, she also found out how much she enjoyed sports some of the time herself. This technique was something that she shared with her friends. Taking interest in other people and the things that are passionate about is a great way to start up a conversation, especially when we are making small talk. The next level, once we've done with the small talk and found something to talk about and actually to get through that exchange of words, is fact disclosure. When the small talk phase goes well, we are then ready to move on to the next level, which is fact disclosure. Here we are communicating with a conversational partner. We reveal a few facts about ourselves, such as your occupation, your hobbies. So it's an upgrade from small talk where you're talking about things that are outside of yourself but around you. With fact disclosure, you're getting closer. Now that you are revealing a bit more about yourself, you may find that you have even more in common. There's a give and take at this level of conversation as you ask questions. If you find that perhaps your counterpart is also not too comfortable, so they may not reciprocate and voluntarily offer information, this is your opportunity to ask the questions. Level 3 is viewpoints. So you've gone through the small talk, you've entered fact disclosure. Now you start to exchange some views. Generally, people don't move to this stage until they feel comfortable with one another, or believe they have found some common ground during the fact disclosure session. So in this level, you go beyond and you give your opinion or whatever it is that you've been talking about. For example, you have gone through the small talk about the weather, you've had some fact disclosure, you realize that you both like skiing, for example. You can now start to share some viewpoints. Like, example, skiing is an expensive hobby. This is a viewpoint, it's an opinion, right? Or your dream is to ski in Jasper, Alberta. Or you're counting on the days to retirement, or you're hoping to move to another job soon. These are opinions. So when you've gone through the small talk, you've gone through some facts disclosure, you then start to share opinions on the facts that have been disclosed. You may even venture into some quagmires, but be careful. But you may even venture into some quagmires such as politics or religion. If you are feeling comfortable to do that, just be careful when you enter these quagmires. Generally, the rule is low and slow. As in, don't reveal too much too soon. You may want to commiserate about the high cost of sending, if you have children, or the high cost of sending children to university one day, if you have had that experience, or if you are still looking towards that experience. You can be futuristic about it. But wait until the person, wait until you get to know the person better before you reveal that you took a second mortgage, or you are struggling to pay your child's school fees. So before you spill your guts out, while we are exchanging viewpoints, take it easy before you start to spill your guts out. You don't want to cause the situation now to be tense and uneasy. Just low and slow. Level 4, finally, personal feelings. This usually does not come out until you feel very comfortable with your conversational partner. So the surest way to get here is to not reveal too much too soon. Low and slow. Do not reveal too much too soon. An example of too much too soon might be telling someone the details of your messy divorce 5 minutes after you meet them. Like, really, no, that's not on. Hey, that is not on. Or upon learning that someone has or shares or belongs to or supports a different political party, you launch into a condemnation of that party. Like, oh, slow down, slow your roll, man. A successful conversation starts at one level and proceeds to, it picks up pace through the second level and the third level and finally the fourth level. Although usually not during your first meeting, it doesn't really have to be during your first meeting, but you can gauge the different levels and see if it's time now to graduate to the next level or not. It usually takes a lot of conversations with someone before you feel very comfortable with them. So level 4 might not necessarily happen on the same day you are meeting them, but just remember that when you are in conversation, we go through these 4 levels. Number 1, small talk. Number 2, exchanging some facts. Number 3, or level 3, your opinions and some viewpoints. And level 4, personal feelings. Remember these levels and graduate through them gradually. Don't just jump in there and go straight to level 4. This is how we then bomb out conversations. So to get comfortability, go through this episode again and grow in how you then get comfortable in your conversations. Happy conversating. We'll catch you in episode 5.